Good evening, guys. Good evening. Hope you all are perfectly ready for yet another super cool, super awesome, and absolutely amazing session from your favorite and my favorite BioPoint Stream the World of Bio. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Calvin. Good evening, all. So let's move forward with yet another session from BioPoints in the world of bio on the chapter breathing and exchange of gases. We are planning to have a one shot on this chapter, but a total we have almost 83 plus slides. We have a total more than yes 67 slides. Very sorry, 67 slides, and let's check whether we can complete it or not. Anyway, just moving on with this session on breathing and exchange of gases. On breathing and exchange of gases. One second, guys. One second. Yes. And once again, reminding you, do not forget to join the Telegram group at BioPoint New, where we have the live YouTube lectures, free mock tests, quizzes, and polls. So once again, reminding you to join the Telegram group of BioPoint Stream the World of Bio, the special need batch at BioPoint New. Guys, once again, do not forget to hit the like button. Do share it with your friends. And if you are a new member, do not forget to subscribe the YouTube channel BioPoint Stream the World of Bio and remark us by leaving a comment in the comment section. So let's move on with yet another session on breathing and exchange of gases. So let's start with what is respiration. Respiration is the oxidation of nutrients in the living cells to release energy for biological work. Breathing is the exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with the carbon dioxide produced by the cells. So, what is the difference between this breathing and respiration? Respiration is the oxidation of nutrients that we have studied the five steps in digestion, right? Ingestion, what digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion, right? In that process, after digestion, we have a process called assimilation, right? So assimilation refers to the utilization of the body nutrient. So such a process in assimilation is known as respiration. So then what is breathing then? Breathing is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and the oxygen from the atmosphere and the carbon dioxide produced by the body cell. So the gaseous exchange is what we said to be as the breathing. Clear with that? So the oxidation of nutrients by the living cells or the utilization of nutrients in the presence of oxygen is known as respiration, and the exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere and carbon dioxide produced by the cells is known as breathing. Clear with that? Respiratory organs. So next topic is the respiratory organs. So what if we say in this topic is that which are the respiratory organs of different organisms. So first we are saying the organ as general body surface. General body surface. So the organisms having their body surface as the respiratory organ are sponges, coelentrates, flatworms. These three organisms have their general body surface as their respiratory organ. Clear with that? Then next we have skin or moist cuticle. So the respiration through skin is known as what? Cutaneous respiration. And the organisms that respire through skin is what we say to be earthworms, leech, and amphibians. So these are the organisms that respire through skin or that have skin as their respiratory organ. Look here, here you have the earthworm, here you have the leech, and here you have the frog. Clear with that? Frog is an example of amphibian. So these three organisms respire by skin or moist cuticle. Next is tracheal tubes. tracheal tubes, that is insect, centipede, millipede, spider. So the phylum Arachnida, sorry, yeah, arthropoda, right? Arthropoda were arachnida comprising the insects. So those insects have their tracheal tube as respiratory organ. Okay, like what centipede, millipede, etc. Two along with them, and spider, grasshopper. All these are insects. Clear with that, guys? Okay, Calvin. Okay. So hope you all are here. Hope you all are here, Calvin. Next is the respiration through skin. Through skin. Sorry, respiration through gills. So the process by which an organism respires through gills is known as branchial respiration. Branchial respiration. So what is branchial respiration? So look, this is the gills. If an organism respires through gills, it is known as branchial respiration. So which all organisms respire by gills? Fishes, tadpoles, and prawns. Look, fishes, tadpoles, that is the larvae of frogs, and prawns. Okay, clear with that? Further moving on, that is in higher organisms that they have lungs as their respiratory organ. Pulmonary respiration. Respiration through lungs is known as pulmonary respiration. So most vertebrates have this lungs as their respiratory organ. Clear with that, guys? Clear till now? Till now we have learned about the respiratory organs, and now we are moving on to the human respiratory system. Yes, Rashmita. Good evening. Good evening, Rashmita. Yes, now we have the human respiratory system that is comprising of two main parts, that is the air tract or the air passage and a paired lungs, that is a pair of lungs that is comprising of two lungs. So this is the human respiratory system starting from the nasal cavity, nostril, oral cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, then moving on to the bronchioles, alveoli, and all these are comprised inside a pair of lungs. Clear with that? This is what we said to be the human respiratory system, comprising of an air tract, that is still trachea, and paired lungs. Clear with that, guys? Next, moving on to the air tract, that is the conducting part. Air tract is the conducting part, and it transports atmospheric air into the alveoli. Guys, do you know what is alveoli? Guys, do you know what is alveoli? Anyone here, comment me right now. What is alveoli? Come on, guys. So, can you tell the order of human respiratory path again? These questions are asked, that's why. Sure, Calvin, sure, I will tell it as I did it before in the previous class yesterday at the end of the session. Okay, Calvin? So, what is alveoli? This is the question. As all of you know that this trachea enters into the lungs and further divides into branches known as bronchi, and this bronchi further divides into some other branches known as bronchioles, and at the end of this bronchioles we have certain grape-like structures known as alveoli. Clear? This is what is the alveoli is, and this alveoli is the site of gaseous exchange. Alveoli is the site of gaseous exchange. So it transports atmospheric air from atmospheric air into the alveoli, and it clears air from foreign particles. That is, when we inhale air, there is a set of foreign particles, just SPM, some other gases too are there, and this alveoli is the part which this conducting passage is the part through which the air gets cleaned or purified. So this conducting part humidifies and brings the air to the body temperature. So passing through the nose, this nose contains hairs, right? Nasal hairs are there, along with mucus, and that helps in cleaning or purifying the atmospheric air. Clear with that? Calvin, look here. This is the exact pathway of the human respiratory system. You got it? External nostrils, moving on to the nasal passage, from that into the nasal chambers or the nasal cavities, nasopharynx, glottis, larynx, trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, bronchioles, terminal bronchioles, respiratory bronchioles, and alveolar duct. This is the entire pathway of the human respiratory system. Okay, Calvin, fine. Okay, so look, this is the what I say to be the grape-like structure, and that is what we say as alveoli. So look, the bronchi further divides, and such further division is known as what, the bronchioles, respiratory bronchioles. Okay, clear with that? So, and each terminal bronchiole give rise to many thin and vascularized alveoli. So this, at the end of this bronchiole, there are certain structures known as alveoli. Clear with that? Moving on to the next part, that is the larynx. Larynx, that is known as the sound box or voice box, is a cartilaginous box that helps in what? Sound production. So where is the sound or the voice produced in humans? Where is the sound or the voice produced in humans? Comment me right now exactly what we have, as we have discussed. Larynx is the answer. So during swallowing, glottis is closed by a thin cartilaginous flap. As you all know, a thin cartilaginous flap just closes the glottis, and such a flap is known as what, the epiglottis. Why it is closing the glottis? In order to prevent the entry of food into the larynx. In order to prevent the entry of food into the larynx. Clear with that? Exactly, Calvin. Larynx. So trachea. All bronchi and initial bronchioles are supported by incomplete cartilaginous half rings known as trachea. So trachea is a long tube. Trachea is a long tube. In between that, there are certain cartilaginous rings. Cartilaginous rings are present in between the trachea. So why are such cartilaginous rings present in the trachea? Comment me right now. Why these cartilaginous rings are present in trachea? Fast. Tell me right now. Waiting for your answers. Fast, 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 fast. Yes, exactly, Calvin. Till initial bronchioles, what? Cartilaginous rings are present, and what? Why? Maybe for support. Don't know. Okay. Yes. Yeah. For support, exactly. We can say that too. But just remember that. Look here. In case of this trachea, you have this cartilaginous rings. Why these cartilaginous rings are present? In order to prevent the collapsing of trachea. In order to prevent the collapsing of trachea. Clear with that? So let's move on with the next slide. And there we have the vocal cords in action. Okay, look here, the vocal cords in action. But how? But how? Okay, moving on to the lengths here. So yeah, vocal cords. It is the part where to the voice is associated with. So that's all just given in this slide. Moving on to the next important topic, the very important topic, lungs. So the location of the lungs. Where is the lungs located? Lungs is located in the thoracic chamber and rest on the diaphragm. Look here, a diaphragm is there, and above that there situates a pair of lungs. There situates a pair of lungs. Right? There situates a pair of lungs supported by, here there are certain muscles known as the intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles. Their relaxation and contraction helps in breathing. Clear with that? Intercostal muscles. Okay, fine. So right lung has three lobes and left lung has two lobes. So right lung is trilobed and left lung is bilobed. The same way as we have studied the right atrium, sorry, the right chamber of the human heart and the left chamber of human heart. There, the flaps of the valve present in case of right chamber or the right between right atrium and right ventricle, it is tricuspid valve, right, right tri, and left atrium and left ventricle there is the bicuspid valve. Bi refers to two flaps and tri refers to three flaps. In the same way, the right lung has three lobes, that is trilobed. Right lung is trilobed, right tri. Clear with that, Calvin? Okay. Left lung is two lobed, that is bilobed. Clear with that? In the same way as the flaps of tricuspid and bicuspid valves in the human heart. Clear with that? And each lung is covered by a double-layered membrane known as pleura. Each lung is covered by a double membrane protective membrane called as pleura. Clear with that? So this pleural fluid is present between these two layers, and what is their function? In order to prevent the friction between the two membranes and lubricates the surface of the lungs. This is the function of the pleural membrane. Prevent friction between the membranes, and pleura is double layer, right? So friction between the two layers of the pleura itself, and it lubricates the lungs as well. Clear with that? Perfectly clear. Moving on to the next part. The lungs is equal to. So what is lungs? What all does constitute the lungs together? What all together constitute the lungs? What all constitute? Lungs is constituted by three components. That is the bronchi, bronchioles, and the alveoli. Bronchi, bronchioles, and the alveoli. Clear with that? So alveoli and their ducts form respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system. As I have said, the gaseous exchange occurs in the alveoli. They are the structural and functional unit of lungs. Clear with that? The structural and functional unit of human respiratory system, it's none other than alveoli. Clear with that? Clear with that? Yes, exactly, Calvin. Bronchi, initial bronchioles, and alveoli. So, moving on to these steps of respiration. Moving on to these steps of respiration. So, the very first step is breathing, that is the pulmonary ventilation. After that, gaseous exchange between the lung and the lung alveoli and the blood. This is the gas transport, that is oxygen transport and the carbon dioxide transport. Then is the gaseous exchange between the blood and the tissues, and finally it is the cellular or tissue respiration. So guys, this is what the steps of respiration are, and now we are going to learn in detail the mechanism of respiration. Clear with that? So let's move in detail about the mechanism of breathing. Perfectly ready, guys? Okay then. We have just started this only 20 slides. We have a total of 67 slides, and by the beginning of 8:05 or something, I have to end this session due to some other works. Okay guys, so let's complete whatever we have in this short period of time. So, breathing is of two steps. Breathing involves two steps known as the inspiration and expiration. Inspiration and expiration. As you all know, the active intake of air from atmosphere into lungs is known as inspiration, and the passive expelling of air from the lungs is referred to as expiration. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, that is what is said to be expiration and inspiration is. Okay. So hope it's clear till now. I know compared to yesterday's class, I am moving little bit fast and focused on the class. So hope I know it's bit what difficult for you to focus, have a full attention on that, but kindly cooperate. It's due to the short lack of time. Okay, guys, and now just bookmark it. Just bookmark it. Very important. Mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. So first we are gonna say to be the inspiration. So what all are the things that happens during inspiration or inhalation? What happens? So first thing that happens is the diaphragm contracts or flattens. So look here, the diaphragm moving downward. Diaphragm moves downward, right? And the vertical volume of the anterior posterior axis increases. So here the volume increases as the diaphragm moves downward. The volume increases, and at the same time, what happens is that the external and internal intercostal muscles, sorry, the external intercostal muscles contracts. External intercostal muscles contracts there, and ribs and sternum lift upwards, and the volume of this dorsoventral axis too increases. I know it's not at all clear for you. I know it's not at all clear for you, but just listen that what happens. Just focus on the diagram given here. Look at the arrow. Look at the arrow. Look at the arrow. You can see the arrow showing the diaphragm contracts and moves down, and the intercostal muscles, external intercostal muscle contracts. This results in the increases in the vertical volume, and this results in the increase in thoracic volume and decrease in thoracic pressure. As thoracic volume increases, thoracic pressure decreases. As thoracic volume increases, what happens? Thoracic pressure decreases. Lungs expand and pulmonary volume increases. This results in the air moving from outside to inside the lungs. As you all know, in case of a balloon too, if the volume increases, what happens? The air starts moving inward. Clear with that? Clear with that? Clear with that, guys. Clear with that. Next, we are gonna say about the expiration. Clear with inspiration. Everyone watching this session, comment me right now. Waiting for your replies. Come on, come on. Okay, fine. So expiration, what happens is that the diaphragm relaxes. That is, the diaphragm moves upwards, and the intercostal muscles. Expiration. Okay, in case of expiration, what happens? The diaphragm relax, and what happens? The intercostal muscles too relaxes, and the thoracic region comes back to its original position. What happens then? The volume decreases and the air moves outwards. So this is what is said to be the expiration and inspiration. So during a forceful expiration, what happens? The abdominal muscles and the internal intercostal muscles contract. So just give a forced expiration outward. What happens is that you can notice that your abdominal muscles contract. Right? Right, guys? Okay. So this is all about the mechanism of breathing. And now we are moving on to the respiratory volumes and capacities. Respiratory volumes and capacities. Clear with that? In this topic, we are going to learn with tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, residual volume, inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity, and total lung capacity. This is what we are gonna learn today in this topic of respiratory volumes and capacity. Guys, yes, good evening, Nila. Good evening. Just have a focus. This is one of the most important topics from this chapter. Okay, guys? So just focus and move. So, what is the first term of tidal volume? Tidal volume is the volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration. A simple, yes, Shraddha. Okay, Nila, it's okay. Just focus on the class. This is the most important topic. The most important topics are just gonna start only. We have just dealt with the human respiratory system, just about the lungs, alveoli, bronchi, bronchioles, and inspiration and expiration. That's all. And now we are gonna focus in with respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay, this is the one of the most important topic. Clear with that? Yes, Shraddha, Nila, Calvin, everyone. Okay. So the volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration is what is said to be the tidal volume. Okay. So just sit relax. Just do whatever I say right now. Just sit relax. Just inhale as usual. Just inhale as usual you do. Just have a breath. Just expire it, exhale it out. Okay, this is what is said to be the tidal volume. What is the amount of air that we inspire or expire during a normal respiration? Clear with that? And such a volume of air is 500 ml. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, guys. Okay. So the approximate value of the tidal volume is 500 ml. And look at this graph, guys. Look at this graph. Look, the volume of air inspired. Oh, very sorry, very sorry, very sorry, guys. Very sorry. Look here. The volume of air inspired and expired is given there, and this is what is said to be the tidal volume. Clear with that? Clear with that? Next is the inspiratory reserve volume. What is inspiratory reserve volume? Additional volume of air that a person can inspire by a forcible inspiration. So just as I said, just inhale a set of air right now. Just inhale a set of air, right? And just once more, just try to inhale. And such an additional volume is known as inspiratory reserve volume or IRV. So what is the quantity of air that inspires? 2500 to 3000 ml. 2500 to 3000 ml. Clear with that? This is the IRV rate, inspiratory reserve volume rate. Clear with that? Look, this part, that is till here we have respired, right? Till here we have respired, and this is the additional volume of air that we inhale. Such an additional volume of air that we inhale is known as the inspiratory reserve volume. Clear with that? So then, guys, comment me what is expiratory reserve volume. Then comment me fast what is expiratory reserve volume. Waiting for your replies. Do it fast, guys. We have a lot to finish today. Come on. What is inspiratory reserve volume? We said that an additional volume of air that is inspired by a forceful inspiration is said as inspiratory reserve volume. Then what is expiratory reserve volume? Exactly, Calvin. Additional volume of air that can expire by a forceful expiration. Okay, that is said to be the ERV or Yashradha. Exactly. And this is what is said to be the expiratory reserve volume. And the rate is 1000 to 1100 ml. 1000 to 1100 ml. Clear with that? Look in this diagram. Look in this diagram. Comparatively with the inspiratory reserve volume, it is less as compared to the inspiratory reserve volume. And look here. Here you can see that this is the expiratory reserve volume. The additional set of air expired. Exactly just opposite to IRV. Okay, guys. Next is what we say to be the residual volume or the RV. So after a forcible expiration too, of some air, a very few air is left inside our lungs. Okay, such an air is referred to as the residual volume. The volume of air remaining in lungs after forceful forcible expiration, and their volume is 1100 to 1200 ml. Clear with that? Are you all here? Nila, your comments are not yet received. Calvin and Shraddha, hope you all are here. Yes, Nila is here. Calvin, yes, Shraddha. Then Calvin, yes. Okay, fine. So next is the inspiratory capacity. Guys, are you all understanding whatever I am saying with respect to this respiratory volumes? Is these topics clear? Because we don't have a second chance to revise this once more. Okay, so just make everything thoroughly clear and move on. So is this clear or not? This is the last minute revision. This is the last time that we are gonna look on this chapter. Okay, perfectly fine. So, total volume of air inspired after a normal expiration, that is the tidal volume, plus inspiratory reserve volume, that is the normal inhalation rate, plus the additional volume of air that can be inspired by a forcible inspiration is what we say to as the inspiratory capacity. So, tidal volume plus IRV. So, what is the tidal volume, guys? Comment me right now the rate of tidal volume and the rate of inspiratory reserve volume. Comment me fast. What is this value of tidal volume? I need the value. I need the value of tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. Both I need it right now. Yes, exactly. The value of tidal volume is 500 ml and remaining 300 ml, 3000 ml is with inspiratory reserve volume. Yes, exactly, Calvin, exactly. And this together constitute the inspiratory capacity, and that is 3000 to 3500 ml. Clear with that? Next is the expiratory capacity. In the same way, after a total volume of air that is expired after a normal inspiration, that is tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume as usual, and its value is 1500 to 1600 ml. 1500 to 1600 ml. Clear with that, guys? Okay, then. Next is the functional residual capacity. So the volume of air that will remain in lungs after a normal expiration. After expiring, what is the volume of air that is still remaining in the lungs is what we say to be the functional residual capacity. That is about 2300 ml. That is a total of expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. What is expiratory value of expiratory reserve volume? Value of expiratory reserve volume is 1100 1100 plus additional value of 1200. This together constitute the 2300 ml of functional residual capacity. Clear with that, guys? Clear with that? If it's clear only, we can move on to the next topic of vital capacity. If it is clear, give me hearts on the screen. Give me hearts on the screen. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, I received the heart of Shraddha. Others too, give me your hearts. Yes, Calvin and Nila too gave your hearts, and now I am also giving you my heart. Okay, fine. So let's move on with this vital capacity. So the volume of air that can breathe in after a forced expiration, or volume of air that can breathe out after a forced inspiration, is what we say to be the vital capacity. That is a sum total. Just remember like this. That is a sum total of expiratory reserve volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. Okay, that is a forced inspiration, a forced expiration, and the normal inhalation and expiration exhalation. That is what we together constitute the vital capacity. Okay, guys, have the Josh in the class. And what is the volume of this vital capacity? 4500 or almost 4600 ml. That is 500 plus 1100 plus 3000, making a total of 4600 ml. This is what we say to be the value of tidal volume. Remember these formulas, guys. Vital capacity is not in NCRT. Is vital capacity not in NCRT? Hope it's there. Value of VC. Okay, okay, okay. Just remember it. Calvin just noted down. It's one of the important points. The value of vital capacity is all what asked for the entrance examination. Values are very important. Problems can also be asked. Problems can also be asked that you have to calculate with the help of the formulas of by adding the values of respiratory volume, residual volume, respiratory capacity, inspiratory reserve volume, all those things. Clear with that? So moving on with the total lung capacity. What is total lung capacity? The lung capacity comprising of the inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, vital capacity, residual volume, expiratory reserve volume, what? All these things together constitute what? Total lung capacity. Total volume of air in the lungs after a maximum inspiration is what we say to be the total lung capacity, and the value of it is 6000 ml. Okay, 6000 ml. So before telling this all these things, before adding all these things, we can say that total lung capacity is the sum total of residual volume plus vital capacity. Look, this is the total lung capacity, right? So this is the total lung capacity. That is, till here we have the vital capacity, and here till here we have the residual volume. So by adding this two, we get the fully, and that we say to be the vital total lung capacity. That is making a total of 5800 ml. This is the exact value. 5800 ml. Okay, Calvin, questions will be done. Surely questions will be done. Surely question. Oh, one thing I have just forgot is to give you the questions of living world. Give you the set of questions of living world. Very sorry, guys. Very sorry. We will do it. Okay, just keep on reminding me in Telegram, or else I will forget it. Okay. So let's move on with the session. Let's move on. So the part of respiratory tract from nostrils to terminal bronchi is not involved in gaseous exchange, and such a part is known as the dead space, and its volume is about 150 ml. So the air only passes through this, passes from nostrils to till bronchi. Clear with that, guys? Clear with that? My complete energy get exhausted by shouting for this much time. Already it's there in group living world questions. Who has posted it? I haven't did so. Uh yeah, once again anyway I will post it. Okay, just leave that. Once again I will just post it. I think Abhisar might have posted it sometimes before, right? So respiratory cycle. What is respiratory cycle? It is together an inspiration plus an expiration. Okay, and an what respirometer or spirometer is the instrument used to measure the respiratory rate. Clear with that? Clear with that? This is all about respiration. Next, we are moving on to the gaseous exchange. We have completed the first part of breathing and now we are moving on to the gaseous exchange. Let's check till where we have reached. We have reached only 36. We have reached only 36. Almost twice of that of 36 slides are there remaining for you. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's move on with this gaseous exchange. Let's move on with this gaseous exchange. Oh my God. Let's move on with this gaseous exchange. Gaseous transport too. We can take. Yeah, it's almost simple. If we have the mind to complete that, we will finish it. Ready, guys? Ready? Give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up if you are ready for moving on to this gaseous exchange. Okay, fine. So gaseous exchange occurs between alveoli and blood and tissues. These are the two parts where the gaseous exchange occurs. The primary sites, as I have said, the primary sites of gaseous exchange is the alveoli. And how does exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in human body? By means of simple diffusion. By means of simple diffusion. Clear with that, guys? Clear with that? And now we are going to discuss about the factors that influence the gaseous exchange. Factors influencing gaseous exchange. One is the pressure or concentration gradient. Second one is the solubility of gases. Third one is the thickness of membranes. Fourth one is the surface area of respiratory membrane or lungs. Surface area of respiratory membranes or lungs. Clear with that, guys? Clear with all these things? Clear with all these things? Now we are moving on to the concentration gradient or pressure. So what we are gonna learn in this? Okay, very important. Have the full attention in the class. Have the full attention in the class. Okay, so the individual pressure of a gas in a gaseous mixture is what we say to be the partial pressure. So in a gaseous mixture of gases, in an atmospheric air comprised of different gases. So what is the pressure of oxygen? That is what we say to be the partial pressure. Okay, individual pressure of any gas in a gaseous mixture. So partial pressures of oxygen and carbon dioxide are the ones that we have to learn in various parts. What is the PCO2? Partial pressure is denoted by small p. Partial pressure of oxygen can be written as PO2. Partial pressure of carbon dioxide can be written as PCO2. Clear with that? So at various parts, that is in atmospheric air, what is the partial pressure of oxygen? 159, carbon dioxide 0.3, alveoli 104, alveoli and 40. Deoxygenated blood, oxygen 40 and carbon dioxide 45. Oxygenated blood, oxygen 95 and carbon dioxide 40. Tissue, oxygen 40 and carbon dioxide 45. These all are the partial pressures. Look here, look here. Here too it's given in alveolar air the partial pressure. That all are very important NEET MCQs. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide at various regions of the respiratory tract are asked for the NEET examination. And let's move on and find what all are the things ahead in the upcoming slides. Partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli, that is 104 millimeter of Hg, is more than in the blood capillaries, that is 40 mm of Hg. So oxygen diffuses into the blood capillaries. So how does oxygen diffuses to blood capillaries? How? From alveoli to blood. Alveoli to blood. How it diffuses? How? The partial pressure. If the partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli is greater than that of the partial pressure of oxygen in blood capillaries, oxygen diffuses into the capillary. blood. Clear with that? And if the partial, in the same way, if the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in deoxygenated blood is more than in alveoli, carbon dioxide moves back to the alveoli, diffuses back to the alveolus. Clear with that, guys? Clear with that? Clear till now about the partial pressure. Now we are moving on to the solubility, rate of solubility. Come on. Comment me right now whether it is clear for you or not. Yes, come on. Okay, fine, Shraddha. Okay, Nila. Calvin, where are you? Yes, okay, perfectly fine. So, solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25 times higher than that of oxygen. So, the amount of carbon dioxide that can diffuse through the diffusion membrane per unit difference in partial pressure is much higher than that of oxygen. As you all know, the rate of diffusion of carbon dioxide is greater than that of oxygen. So, the partial pressure in the diffusion membrane is much higher than that of oxygen. Clear with that? Just leave that, just leave that, just leave that. Okay, just come on to the important topics. Just move back to the important topics. These all are just the factors. Okay, now we are going to start this important topics from gaseous transport. Clear with that? Before that, just I'm giving an introduction from these parts of factors affecting influencing gaseous exchange. So, squamous epithelium of alveoli, endothelium of alveolar capillaries, and basement membrane between them. These are the three layers of diffusion membrane. Look here the squamous epithelium, look here the basement substance, look here the endothelium. Clear with that? So its thickness is only 0.5 micrometers. That's why it enables easy gaseous exchange. Clear with that? Next is the surface area of respiratory membrane or the lungs. The surface area of human lungs is equal to the tennis court, and the presence of alveoli increases the surface area of the lungs and increases its gaseous exchange. So how can we increase the surface area of lungs? By increasing the surface area of alveoli, we can increase the surface area of lungs. Now we are moving on to the gaseous transport. Gas transport, that is the exchange of gas between alveoli and blood and tissues. Clear with that? Clear with that? Give me hearts on the screen. Give me hearts on the screen. Okay then. Oh my god. So, what is transport of gases? It is the transport of respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide from alveoli to tissues, systematic tissues, and vice versa. That is oxygen transport from lungs to tissues and carbon dioxide transport from tissues to lungs. In physical solution, that is the blood plasma as oxyhemoglobin. These two are things that we are going to learn in oxygen transport. And carbon dioxide transport, we are going to learn the transport of carbon dioxide as carbonic acid, as carbaminohemoglobin, and mainly the carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonates. These are the things that we are going to learn now in this transport of gases. Clear with that, guys? 7:50 it's right now. 7:50 we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 more slides left before you. 19 more slides. So guys, for a better option, can we continue this in the next session as a part 2 of this chapter so that you can revise all this today? Can you all support me by doing like that, by agreeing with this opinion? Okay, yes, exactly, Calvin. We can't finish that today 19 slides because by 8 p.m. I have to leave this, so it will be a bit confusing. So can you all revise these topics today? Will you all revise till now? In the next class, surely I will be giving you the problems of this respiratory volume, tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, all those things. Okay, guys. So once again, reminding you, if you are a new member, do not forget to join the Telegram group at BioPointNew, and do not forget to hit the like button. Do share it with your friends, and do subscribe the YouTube channel BioPoint, seeing the world of bio. And remember to mark us by leaving a comment in the comment section. And thank you all. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. It's me signing out from your favorite and my favorite BioPoints in the world of bio. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye. Take care, all three, Nila, Calvin, and Shraddha. Thank you all for your patient listening, and that's all for today. It's me ending this session. Thank you all. Okay, then, bye, guys. Bye, all. See you tomorrow with yet another super cool lecture of most important part of breathing and exchange of gases. Hope you all are perfectly ready for this session. So let's have fun tomorrow. Okay, then, guys. Bye bye.